Hello, and welcome back to me drawing what I wish my cat's Halloween costume was. I say wish because he doesn't have one. I'm pretty much certain he will not cooperate with us. So rather than let him suffer, I have found a way to still have it be his Halloween costume. And by that I mean I drew it. It's an image, there's an image of it, it definitely really happened. There is a picture. So I knew going in that I wanted him to have like a little vampire cape. And the reason I knew that is my darling boy. I have several cats, but this is Timothy. And darling boy Timothy is a funny little cat. And he has his teeth, his fangs, they're just a little big. So like if you try and like scratch his chin or like rub his cheeks, you will feel them. When he sleeps with his head upside down, you will see teeth. They're almost like they're right on the verge of popping out in everyday life at any moment because they're just a little too big for his skull. So I knew he had to be a little vampire kitty, and that's why I'm drawing him and not my two other babies. Who don't have a go-to costume and also would not accept having anything put on their body. But it's October and I wanted to be festive. So obviously it has to be night because he's a vampire. You don't want him to burn his little skin. He's also a white cat, which if you don't know, you're not supposed to let them in the sun too much because they will get skin cancer because they get sunburns. Man, they're delicate. So I figured it worked in that way as well. So, and his little self being a little vampire. And if you're wondering why I just decided he wouldn't accept a cape, it's because I put a harness on him once to see, and he was fine with it when it was super loose. When it started being a harness, he shut down a little bit. Even with many treats. So in general, he's not great at being, super pliable. He's probably about 2 years old, and we don't know for sure because he was a stray that we just kind of took in. So usually when you want to like put clothes on a cat or bathe a cat, do any of those cat things that a lot of people don't do with their cats, but some people do, you're gonna want to get a kitten. So that you can tell them that this is normal and you're not like trying to strangle them. And we have missed that opportunity with him. and so we're not going to test him. He already makes trimming his nails just the most difficult challenge in the world. And we have never bathed this cat. We just hope he doesn't get dirty. We just hope that whatever it is he gets in, it is something he can lick off of himself without poisoning himself as well. So, yeah, we're making do with this imaginary little image. And I do think the likeness turned out okay. His head might be a little too wide and it's a little too big, but he's a cartoon kitty, it's fine. And I do want to say, in like his left ear or like the right side of the screen, that ear shape, it looks a little weird. That's because he's missing the tip of his ear. And he also has like a little kind of cut into the side. That's purposeful. We took in this stray because he got hurt and he was like gonna die. and then we got attached. So I just heard him downstairs. See, I'm recording this upstairs and he's not allowed up here because there's paint, and that is definitely something that if he got on him, he would die licking it off. So he's not allowed upstairs. And he's upset that I'm ignoring him to record this voiceover. So he's just banging into stuff occasionally. He's a toddler. But I've drawn him as a dapper lad, looking great, so stylish. And I'm gonna add a lot more detail to like his head and his face, but I don't add a whole ton of detail to his body. I just kind of I just wanted it to just kind of be a shape, leading the eye upwards. I add a bit of shading here, but I don't add it as much as it would realistically be. I'm cheating the light source like a lot here, and the reason is that I did want it to still like really stand out against the black cloak. So I was trying to use the fact that he's a white cat mostly to kind of do that. And here I'm getting rid of some of the sketch, but not all of the sketch, and then going over top of things and doing the highlights. Because that area is lighter, and I felt that you really should see more true white there. I'm kind of adding a little bit more to the side because I figured that if he was wearing like a little cloak with like the high collar, it might mush his face in. He has a very mushable face. That is another thing about him. He's darling. And we keep having to repeat that because he also likes to cause mischief and jump around and knock things over, and so we have to remind ourselves in this household that he is darling, so that he remains an indoor cat, doesn't go back outside and get beat up again. He's actually doing pretty well behavior wise right now, but he does need a cuddle every time I wake up. Just every day I wake up and go downstairs, he crawls on top of me, like into my neck, like on my shoulder. He's on me. I must completely support his weight because he needs attention urgently. So please give him some attention, I guess. He won't know you do, but I'll appreciate it. Thank you. Goodbye.